Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast. Track 1, Time Travelin', a Tribute to Fela, featuring Vinya Mojica. Oh, our main woman. She's appeared on this show plenty of times. Roy Hargrove and Femi.
Rest in peace.
Wait, to who? Vinya or Roy?
To Roy Hargrove.
Oh, okay. Rest in peace, Roy.
He passed away not too long ago.
You hate to hear that. Rest in peace to Roy Hargrove and FEMA.
FEMA?
Femi. My eyes are getting bad, bro.
Femi.
My glasses are fucking on too. It looks like FEMA Kuti.
No, it's Femi Kuti.
There we go.
Like Fela Kuti.
Right, yeah. I'm supposed to get, listen, I just got my fucking Medicaid back, so I'll be at that Walmart Vision Center getting another.
This man said FEMA.
I haven't gotten my eyes checked since 2019. It's bad out here. Produced by Questlove, James Poyser, Jay Dilla, D'Angelo, and the Soul Clarions. 7-.
Not mad at that. Flat 7. Ding me, baby.
Well, we're off to a
This
good
could
note.
pass for a song on Electric Circus, if any song on this album does. This could have easily been on that album.
The way
it's just that the album doesn't maintain this energy throughout.
Right. It
kind of builds off of it and then moves on.
You get a lot of jam sessions. So a lot of these songs on here are of a certain duration. And you know how I feel about that. If I'm jamming, let it play.
Yes.
Well,
again, a lot of these songs, like you heard in the background information, some of these songs were like maybe meant for Voodoo initially. And those songs on Voodoo, for example, came from Soulquarian jam sessions.
There you go. And
you get a lot of that on this album. Not exclusively, but you get it in a high percentage.
You get, this very spacey time travel type of intro.
Yes.
That saxophone comes in, you get them chunky layered, the snare clap combo is what it sounds like. Honestly, what it brought me back to is not so much the early 2000s, but the late 2000s when I had become a rapper and was getting into that hip and started producing and downloaded them fake ass drum kits. You could get them fucking Jay Dilla drum kits. Okay.
You hear the wateriness though in the drums.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
right.
Everything, because everything's kind of light, but it's very textured.
Mm-hmm. Texture
in that, it sounds watery.
Especially
it fits with the like water for chocolate motif.
Yeah, you hear it in the vocals. Only you.
Yeah,
know
we'll
what
talk
I'm talking
about that in a sec. Remember on Things Fall Apart, Mel, the Roots album, Black Thought, I think it was like chapter 1 or something like that. Like, it was one of the first tracks on the album. And Garbage Truck on the Block, by the way.
It's coming to take rapping, that bad hit from the past few months.
It's coming to take that bad hit.
Okay?
It's coming to take that fucking Wale and Nine Wonder out
exactly.
Here.
It's been sitting on the curb for weeks.
Sorry, the fucking garbage just derailed my train of thought, but you get this thing on the Root song where it sounds like Black Thought is rapping through a megaphone or something like that. You get this effect on Common's voice that is supposed to portray that he's underwater or something. Is that what you got from it?
Either that, or I said it's that sort of dial up digital artifact sound. But yeah, watery, nautical. Definitely here because the bass line is kind of nautical sounding. Yeah,
I feel like he's in the water, floating up to the surface, and that's why we don't hear him clearly until the next song. Mm-hmm. It's an intentional effect on here that I think works better for me here than on the Roots album when Black Thought was rapping through the megaphone sound on that record. But, this is, to me, very much like an intro song, a warm-up song, before we get into, even on the next song, you get like that more battle-tested style from Common.
It definitely, the sequencing feels intentional because we have to set the tone for the concept and, the overall sound. And then it's like, just in case you forgot, I still fucking rap.
This is kind of like trippy to start out. It feels like you've taken something and you're in a void, and not in a bad way. It's a peaceful void.
Not in a bad way.
You get that, yo, what's up, world? Yo, what's happening? It's a C-double-O, and I'm back again. Take this, back and then, tell a friend, spaces and places you've been, traveling. All the effects and stuff on the time traveling.
Yeah.
And then he gets into his verse, yo, I was a piano player in my last lifetime. That's a sick opening bar.
Reminded me, honestly, of the opening song on Dwight Spitz, with the soundbite, you got to learn to play the piano. Yeah, exactly.
Now I write rhymes, sip white wine, and let my light shine. And this is like a mix between the more esoteric side of Common and his usual, I wouldn't say like the battle-tested side of Common, but just his like emceeing, almost braggadocio style. Splits the difference. It's not like too out there like some of the stuff on Electric Circus was, but musically and even in the mix here, and even, Vinya Mojico was on the intro of Electric Circus, she's in the mix in these sessions. So, the vibes here, I would say like more left field than the stuff you were hearing on Resurrection and One Day It'll All Make Sense, but not quite as out there as the stuff you were getting on Electric Circus, which I think if you recall in that review, I was saying this album's not as out there as some people say it is compared to some of the, rappers turned singers and what have you. And just the genre itself becoming more eclectic sounding over the years.
I'm glad you used people's favorite fucking word, vibe, because I think it's valid. Folks, this is a vibe, as y'all say. Before Travis Scott was vibing, y'all, we had actual vibes, okay? Because this is a jam set. It's like 6.5 minutes. You got shit getting panned left and right. Like you talked about the long delay on the vocals, like time travel. It ends up turning into sounding like Spine Tap because it's been like delayed so long. Like, it's psychedelic. This is like, your eyes are closed. Honestly, it evokes fuck this little girl, but the cartoon, the little lo-fi girl with the headphones, okay? This is what she would be listening to. All right. And that's a compliment. She sucks, but this music doesn't.
I don't think this is lo-fi beats to study to at all. I think it's
this is the kind of music that would lead to that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, perhaps. But I think this is way too splashy.
Oh, it's too good for that bullshit. That AI generated sound and fake vinyl crackle fucking fake Dilla music they be putting on there, okay? This is real Dillo. He's his real drum. Do kicks. I'm here. I'm a big fan of this type of production. All right.
Yeah.
Not to be a Dilla dumbass
here, even though it's I'll be a Dilla dumbass tonight. He deserves it on this.
Oh, he does. He does. But it's him. It's Questlove. I mean, they was snapping. They was doing what
everybody is in their fucking bag here, 100%. They're working at like the peak of their powers. And you're getting great music out of it. I've loved the mix for years on like the drums and stuff on here and just the assorted percussion and whatnot, the horns, like everything sounds really good to me, even though I would describe it as an unorthodox mix.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know me, I'm fucking, mix slut Mel. I have no complaints about the mixes on this album. Not one. I love the way this album's mixed, as a matter of fact, this is why that's important, because when you do something like you have a collective and everyone's contributing shit and you get very ambitious and it's just the ideas are flowing, a lot of times you could end up with just a mess, like too many cooks in the kitchen. It's like, oh, you play the guitar. It's like you throw all this shit in there and it doesn't end up gelling. It just sounds like, disparate parts, but no, like they took their time on this, and the shit feels where, you know, every element is where it needs to be and is fitting into its pocket and its place very well. Yeah, I like the effect on his vocals, that watery filter.
I think it just is, as an intro, it immediately immerses you into this album.
Yeah, I'm down.
It's a warm-up record in the fact that Common's not like rapping at the highest level he does on this album, but as a song, I think it completely kind of like erases everything around you and puts you in this world.
Yeah, it's like, it's that palate cleanser. Whatever is going on in your day or in your life, let this whole joint rock so you can wipe that away, hopefully, and be in the like water for chocolate space. You know, this is what an intro should be in that regard. It's like the wasabi to your life.
Yes, it's a vibe recalibration tool.
Right. Or not wasabi, fucking ginger. That's what resets the palate.
The cleanse your palate.
Right. Lyrically, yeah, it's a warm-up record. There's some stuff that popped me. It's like, you know, word on my mind, like Scarface, though my sex drive is like a car chase more than is a piece of mind I chase. Okay, we know about you, horny man with your fucking little newsboy hat. What's that Little Brother song we reviewed recently on the Chitwin Circuit 1.5? Where he's like lampooning like the conscious dudes at the coffee shop. I mean, Common does that himself on this very album. But, you know, to his credit, he never claims...
Was it Ladies Jam?
I think that was the one. Yeah, where Fonte has the verse
there?
About... Does it Take It There?
I think it was Take It There.
Okay. Yeah, he has the verse about like the niggas at the, you know, the jazz club, the coffee shop or whatever, trying to, you know... Yeah, I mean... Common is tapped in on that level. He knows how he could be misconstrued or whatever. Look, he likes to fuck, but he also likes to, you know, uplift his people. You know, we can't have both. What's wrong with having both? All right. But that stakes are high, like my uncle is. We both got problems. He never confronted his. Under the bridge, I wrote some shit to stay afloat. That's real rap. I like that.
That's real rap.
Jesse,
this is the best guy I've heard from Chicago.
Jesse, your case is falling apart, pal. But hey, I'll throw him a bone.
Jesse can only make the true claims against Common from Universal Mind Control onward.
Well, here's the thing. I'll throw him a bone because every now and then you'll get like, I ran through the moss like Randy. That's the type of lazy bar that I've heard Common be like prone to often enough to where like I would be able to understand where Jesse's coming from. But it's not
so
often.
A couple of his bars here and there can be clunky, even in some of his best material.
Right.
However, that's to say that that's not the case for anyone else.
Right. Number one, yeah, other great rappers are prone to clunky bars, and often it can happen often, but it's not often enough for me to feel like
I didn't
Jesse.
come up with the name Uneducated Kendrick. Jeez, if I did,
that was Jesse.
They crucify me.
Jesse's God MC, who he admitted on this very show is uneducated and can barely talk. You know, all right. The inconsistent principles of Jesse. If I come back to RAB. Or to rap, not rap. I'm rapping right now. If I come back to rap one day when I'm like 58, my name of my album will be The Inconsistent Principles of Jesse. Okay. And it won't be a diss album to Jesse. It'll just be about the you know, the layered nature of humankind. Okay.
Will there be no clunky bars or grammatically incorrect bars?
No, there will be that because I want Jesse to like the album. Like he likes Kendrick albums. Yeah, Common there's too much good shit for me to call him a bad rapper. If you hone in on only these lines, yeah, of course you're going to think he's a bad rapper, you know? But when I hear shit like, you know, I'm dealing with wakes, marriages, ATMs, Ericssons, loud niggas that whisper carelessness, bars.
Would you say Common is overrated, underrated, or properly rated? I'm going with properly rated.
Yes. Common is properly rated. I think
he's not overrated to me because I don't hear enough people saying that he's top 5 or top 10 in their mind. Mm-hmm. He's not underrated because enough people do hold him in that regard and hold a lot of his albums in that regard. I think he's properly rated.
He earned his coffee shop era because real MCs respect him. He's beef with the likes of Ice Cube and like, you know, like he's done his work. Like he can do whatever he wants now, you know?
This idea that if someone fell off at a point in their career that, you know, we have to like pretend like all the shit that was good is not good anymore. I don't know what that's all about. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what Jesse is doing, but like, let's take Wayne, for instance. Since getting out of jail, you know, I've liked very little Wayne projects.
I would go as far as to say, this is the man that got me started rapping. I love him. I adore him.
He's top 5 dead or alive for me.
Yeah. He hasn't made a good album for me since...
I like Funeral.
It's okay, but it's not a great album. It's not a classic. It's acceptable. And that's what I mean. Like, he hasn't made a great album.
He hasn't made a classic album for me since like Carter 3.
Right, and that's my point. But does that mean was never a good rapper? No, that's bullshit.
But here's the thing. Almost everything before that to me might be classic as well. So, or near classic. So I don't care about the fact that, you know, I could provide evidence to you that they're trash now.
Niggas fall off. It happens. But that doesn't invalidate the shit they did before. Otherwise, the phrase fall off wouldn't exist, because that implies you were at a height and you fell from it. You know? Kendrick hasn't made a good album to me since To Pimp a Butterfly. Does that mean To Pimp a Butterfly is not a fucking classic? No. Does that mean I don't like Good Kid, Mad City? No. Drake, my main man, finally dropped some dog shit with For All the Dogs.
I don't think, no, finally. I think he's been dropping dog shit consistently post-Scorpion. And
I liked all that shit.
Still.
And then I finally got one I didn't
still like my old Drake. I still like my So Far Gone. I like my fucking Nothing Was the Same. If You're Reading This.
Look, LeVar Ball, he never lost until For All the Dogs. Okay?
Look, it's fine, okay? Not everything's got to be a slam dunk.
Right.
But...
we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay?
Jesse, Common's not a bad rapper. Eric Sermon's not a bad rapper. Ludacris is not a bad rapper. You don't enjoy them.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe you do, and then I don't even know what you're trying to say. But, listen, this is not a bad rapper, and you can't make the argument he is off this album. Just like you couldn't when you came on the Resurrection review and tried to ruin a review for the greatest album of all time.
Here's the thing, and that's your opinion. Just like Jesse's opinion is, Common's a bad rap. It would be fine to have that opinion if his evidence wasn't so fucking flimsy. You know? You can think whatever you want about anything. That's unfortunately that's life on Earth amongst humans. But I would hope your reasoning is sound, you know? But that's a rabbit hole. Anyway, what else is he talking about here? Facing the East, actions facing the beast, embracing the streets. My guy caught a case because he beat his lady down. It's 2000. That ain't the way we lay it down. Yeah, fuck that domesto abuse. But it's funny because the line implies they used to lay it down that way in the previous millennium. It's like before the 2000s. I get it. I know what he's saying. You know, that was a different time and people were more ignorant and we're supposed to be ascending past that. But you know, the obvious point is we shouldn't have needed awakening in consciousness to know that beating up your girl is bad. But, you know, hip hop. All right. Trauma in the human community. This is outside of hip hop. But Common's talking about it. You know, he's talking about a lot of things on here. I like that how he says recognize the voice in the wilderness, Comm since 92, and I'm still in this. Yeah, you know, he's still in it. Still doing it. Good rapper. All right. You really do it when you care about that hit. You're going to make it whether people want to hear it or not. You know?
This is such a perfectly sequenced album to me, because what this album is doing on this track, you've got this Afrobeat sound, and that sound doesn't carry on through the rest of the album, but check this out. So like on the next song, Heat, and the song after that, Cold Blooded, they're both like funk records, basically. They both have, you know, it's still kind of a thread from the Afrobeat, which has elements of funk in it, into those records. And then you've got Doing It, which also has some of that in it with the Rick James sample, but they know they're going to go into The Light, so the drums are harder because the drums on The Light knock. So it's like the intensity of everything, you know, kind of comes to a head with The Light, and you get into Funky For You, Questions, Time Travelin' Reprise, which are all more jammy, you know, off that peak. But I really think this is like one of the best sequenced and produced albums we've covered on the show.
I'll allow that. I will allow that. Yeah, absolutely.
And like each song, starting with this one, there's at least a thread from the last thing into the next thing. Even if it's like a skit that's going to set up the next song, everything is so well thought out. The music comes in the order I feel like it's supposed to. And it's very striking here, and it's not on a lot of shit that we review. It's always like, this would have worked better up top, or they should have kept this closer to the outro because it has a sense of finality to it. This is perfect sequencing and almost perfect production. Like 97% perfect production.
Listen, a lot of talk about classic albums. I think sequencing is integral to that. An album experience, I would say, must flow. Even if, like, say it appeared, there can be a flow in herky-jerky movements. Say if an album commits to being like unpredictable, that's its flow. Listen, you gotta care about how these songs are being consumed. Otherwise, you end up where we're at now in hip hop, which is a playlist era.
It's never a non-factor.
Right.
It's never a non-factor. It's always on my mind when I'm doing these reviews.
Well, albums sound like playlists now, just collections of fucking songs, because nobody gives a shit.
And they can't. They have to make, like, here's the thing. If any rappers or producers or people who work on rap music are listening to this, and they're listening to it for, like, advice or inspiration or just, like, to learn shit, let me just say, you have to make strong decisions on things. They may not be the right decision, honestly, because sometimes you have to, like, put it out there and fail and see how it fails and learn from your failures and whatnot. But you have to make strong decisions. You can't just haphazardly throw shit together. You can't delineate that completely to someone else without, kind of getting at least some feedback from someone about it. Like, I think to go back to Lil Wayne, what I know of his process when making albums is sending like 75 records to Cortez or Mac Main, and they put the album together for him with no, input from Wayne or really anyone else.
Where's the drop? Where's the fucking drop? Because we know, right? It's there are so many good new Lil Wayne songs that get recorded, but they don't get selected, or they get thrown into a poorly sequenced project haphazardly. It's just like, this shit matters, man. This shit matters. There's the fucking drop. Okay, when we see these modern Waynes, and it hurts our hearts, and we just say,
"Oh, that's Cortez."
Well, he's gone now, but we said it for many years. Okay, fucking Cortez. But listen, one of my favorite characters in the Carter documentary. He should have won an Oscar, okay, for his role in the Carter documentary.
There should be an Oscar category for best person in a documentary.
Yes.
Like, not best actor, obviously, because they're not acting, but like best individual in a documentary.
You don't know Lil Wayne, nigga.
And they you show the scene, like, how they showed like a big dramatic scene before they announce the next person at the Oscars and stuff. That's what you got to do. You got to show that scene.
And you see like Drake in the background for a split second, like, yo, I think Cortez is mad. What's going on? Listen, all right, documentaros. I don't think I have anything else we say about this record. I like he asked why I haven't been to see him. Really, I have a good reason, man. If that ain't me, if it's not just me, that's just modern society. We be having phones and transportation, and we don't be having good reasons to not see the people we claim to love. All right, we on that misinformation stupid highway all the time, and we still don't neglect.
We still need that shirt.
Love. We do need misinformation
with
stupid
with the alien and
with
the
alien, all that. That's right. All right, it won't be in the new merch drop unless I come up with an idea.
No.
What happened?
I just saw you sent me.
I sent you them? Oh, yeah, I did send you them. Yeah. On that Signal, because ain't no more Twitter.
Yeah, Moulz and Mel have now, we've moved our encampment elsewhere.
Okay. We had to. We fucking had to. All right. Stupid ass cesspool site. It got to be too much. The cesspool was starting to be up to my neck. And at that point, all right, you're splashing on my neck. All right. Elon Musk. Fuck out of here, bitch. All right. Final notes on this song. You know, that time travel, it got me thinking because the watery, just psychedelia, yeah, of it all. You know, that's time travel, one of my favorite concepts and thoughts. But, you know, I saw the title and was like, oh, you know, I need that time traveling. All right. But it made me think, what does time traveling look like out the window? What would you see? Is it going to be like 2001 A Space Odyssey?
I've always thought about it like you know, because this is how it's been depicted in media, the beam me up Scotty in Star Trek, or you know, Doc Brown in Back to the Future. Isn't that like either get in a car and go to the future?
It's like warp speed lights and shit, right? Yeah,
or you go, I guess, into, if you're in space, I guess you go in like a portal thing, like a thing, they beam you up.
Well, you know, and that's my point. Like, we've been conditioned through media and to just imagine just like, yeah, this warp tunnel of lights and color. But like, what it could be something way different and scarier. Like, what if it's just blackness? Like, what if it's just, you see like the monsters outside the void of time out the window, like just staring at you. We wouldn't know. We've never been able to do it. But they might just be looking at, where you going, nigga? But like, you're traveling so fast, you know, they can't get you. Anyway.
I don't know. I mean, what if it's something that, like, you know, not to evoke the imagery of an opium den, but what if it's a place that you go and like you time travel and they give you some kind of like drug and you time travel in your mind? Like, you don't actually go anywhere. Like, people see you sleeping, basically.
Oh, right. You go to a place, they give you a drug, and you do travel through time, but your body stays where it is. It's just the drug allows you to slip, I guess, out of time into a different. Yeah, I could see that being the way.
Into a different time.
Right. Okay. And that way, technically, you don't fuck with time. It's like it does send you to that time.
Yeah, but it's in like read-only mode.
Right. Oh, shit. Did Moulz Mel just figure out time travel?
They don't even see you.
Right. That would be hard. That's the way.
That's the only way to do it, because like the human body is matter. So you can't like disintegrate matter and then have it reappear somewhere else.
And
in a different time to begin with. It's like, that's bullshit. That can't happen.
Right. But here's the thing. We know it's real time travel because basically we allow a bunch of different people to test it and they come back. If they all see the same things throughout time, then we know it's a consistent timeline that we're time traveling through. It's not like, oh, people see different shit.
It's not for me to figure out how to engineer such a drug, but I mean, you know, that's how it would work.
I just need to see some certain shit again. I need to see some shit, you know?
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. Like, do you go back? Can you only time travel through your own memories, or can you time travel to, like, you know, ancient Greece if you want to, and go into the Colosseum?
I think it should be your own memories. Otherwise, we will collapse.
I don't know if there's
collapse either way.
I don't know if there, again, like, realistically, how do you go to a read-only version of another time? The only way is to access memories.
Right.
So the drug would have to, like, I don't know, like, access your fucking memories.
Right.
It's not for me to figure out. It's just for me to think about.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Call in 718-635-0743. Would you take the drug to travel through your own memories, aka traveling through time?
Of course. I would. I wouldn't take the substance, but I would
and it's administered in an controlled environment. You go to a place where, you know, you sit on like a fucking lounge chair and they, you know, like administer the drug to you and they make sure that you're okay. I think they call places like that clinics.
I think they call that clinics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at the time traveling clinic.
Yeah.
Oh man, we might end society because everyone like wants to go back to the past.
Of course. And
so
of course,
everybody basically just puts themselves to sleep.
We would also
and they only work to make money to buy more time traveling.
Well, here's the other problem. People would go back to get verification of things that they no longer remember, and they come back to the present and be able to definitively prove that like certain shit happened. It's like, see, I was there, and here's the proof. So like murders would be solved, but like lies would be exposed. Like we would collapse. Much like what social media did to us. We can't handle certain things. So I think we should move on from time traveling.
All right.
Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast.